Hello and welcome to Newsy,
the news pool for curious kids.
And adults like it too.
Hello, I'm Neela Shushanka Prickett, and this is my sidekick, otherwise known as my mama.
I also go by the name Lindy Prickett.
That too.
And in world news this week,
Hear how scientists who study fungi and mushrooms give a new meaning to the phrase meshy talk. Come here, Treasure Boo.
we'll also tell you how disco fever powers a nightclub in Scotland.
And in sports news, tennis greats retire, but the game goes on.
And a restaurant in San Francisco caters to posh pups.
Polish my paws. Yes, you heard her right, but you don't believe us, do you?
Well, you better listen to the end to hear this dishy story.
Alrighty then, let's dive on in, because first up is...
The big news story
of the week.
So we've done an episode before about how a Canadian scientist discovered that trees talk. Or, I should say, can communicate with each other.
Yes, that would be on episode 52.
One of my favorite cover arts, in fact, that we've ever done. It is totally worth checking out, but in a nutshell, trees are linked together by their roots.
And a massive underground network of fungi that helps them send messages.
Exactly. So I suppose it's no wonder that UK scientists are now learning that fungi, or mushrooms, can also talk to each other.
What, like mushy talk? I love you so much, my little kitty.
Yeah, no. Maybe not sweet nothings in each other's ear, but, they can communicate in a way that's apparently not far from the way humans talk to one another.
Ooh, so how come we don't hear them then?
Well, of course, it's not that simple. Let's get Jackson Hosking, our England correspondent, to explain.
Thanks, guys. Not far from me, at the University of the West of England, mycologists, who are people who study fungi, like mushrooms, have found fungi might be talking to each other. Not just that, but they might even have around 50 words in their vocabulary. Okay, no. Not words that any of us humans could hear, but using teeny-weeny devices that detect electrical signals, the mycologists were able to study the patterns of electrical impulses, or signals, they were emitting. For instance, when the fungi find wood, which is what they generally feed on, they begin to light up with sparks, or of electricity, in similar patterns to each other. Scientists think that fungi are trying to spread the word, like, tea's ready, come and get it, or something along those lines to other fungi. This is really cool, because almost all living creatures, be it plants or animals, even those without a nervous system, can produce these spikes. But, get this. When fungi do it, it's very similar to how we humans transmit information in our nerve cells. This could really help scientists understand what fungi are up to. We might just be able to understand them screaming, "Help, I'm in truffle." Get it? Truffle? Like that expensive type of fungi that people love to eat. In the southwest of England, I'm Jackson Hosking, reporting for Newsy.
Oh, good one, Jackson. Very funny. Thanks a lot for that report. And question for everyone. Why did the mushroom get invited to all the parties?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Why? Well, because he was a fun guy. Get it?
Yeah, we get it. Moving on.
It's time for...
Technology news. Technology news.
Tech news.
So most of us like to turn on some music and move to the beats, right? I'm talking dancing. Shake a leg.
Shake a leg. Funny phrase, isn't it?
Yes, well, how else do you dance?
Shake an arm?
Okay, you dance very energetically. And when you're shaking a leg and an arm, your body starts to warm up, right? Disco sweat.
Wait, is that another phrase?
No, that one's just mine. Okay, well, even though that's not necessarily a nice image, you won't believe what some Scottish geothermal energy consultants are doing with it. The heat, not the sweat.
Geothermal energy consultants?
Yes. Geothermal energy, in case you didn't know, is heat derived or coming from the subsurface of the Earth.
I did not know that. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Or in this case, it's heat derived from the dancers at the Glasgow arts venue SWG3. And guess what they're doing with that heat?
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
Yes, I bet you do. They're turning it into clean, if not a bit stinky, energy to help power the music venue.
Oh, that's handy. But, how?
It's a little complicated, but basically, the dancer's heat is trapped and piped using something called carrier fluid into deep holes that can be charged like a thermal battery. The energy then travels back up to the heat pumps and is turned into a comfortable temperature for the club.
Cool. Talk about a good use of that disco fever.
Now it's time for a bit of... Are we ready to play ball?
Sports news! So you've probably heard that in the space of just a few weeks, 2 of tennis's greatest players have walked off the court and hung up their shoes.
Yep, it's the end of an era in tennis, as our Indian correspondent and tennis enthusiast, Sahasra Sridhar, is about to tell us.
Take it away, Sahasra. The ball's in your court.
Thanks, you guys. First of all, the Rolex Paris Masters is happening. That's an international tennis tournament that generally happens every year between October and November in Paris, France. So many great tennis players have played there. But how is the game going to be the same without 2 of the game's greatest names being there this season? If you took a guess, you're probably right. We're talking Serena Williams and Roger Federer, people. At 41 years old, which is really old for a tennis player or any sportsman for that matter, Federer has ruled the sport for 24 years and played in more than 1,500 matches. That's a lot. Served the game for a long time, eh? Serve like a tennis serve? After his final appearance in the Laver Cup last month, he's decided to retire. What a smash for his fans. Get it? Smash like a tennis smash shot. And it's not only his fans who'll be missing him, but the entirety of the sporting world and fellow sportsmen and sportswomen like Serena Williams, another iconic tennis player who's laying the racket to rest. After holding the world #1 record for more than 6 years, Williams has decided to retire after injuries and having a baby. These big names have secured and broken so many records in the history of tennis, it's going to be a real game changer without them. Literally. Looking forward to more great tennis. This is Sahasra Sridhar reporting for Newsy.
Thanks a lot for that report, Sahasra. And here's a fab fact for everyone. Did you know, according to the Britannica Encyclopedia, the origins of the game can be traced back to the 12th or 13th century French handball game called Jeu de Paume, Game of the Palm.
And finally, let's see what the Lucky Dip machine has for us this week. Step right up.
Have a go at the Lucky Dip machine.
The Lucky Dip machine.
What's it going to do today, eh?
An oddball, no doubt.
An oddball, no doubt.
So, Mama.
So, Leela.
Have you heard the expression, that place has gone to the dogs?
Yeah, meaning it's not very nice anymore.
Exactly. Only in the case of one San Francisco cafe, it's literally the case that it's gone to the dogs.
What? Come again?
Well, it's a city that by some measurements has a higher population of puppies than newborn babies. And with that kind of doggy love, it's no surprise people are willing to just spend a lot to pamper their pooches, including fancy-pantsy meals at a restaurant that is just for dogs.
What?
And when I say fancy, I'm talking $75 for a 3-course meal.
No way.
Yes, way.
Honestly, that sounds a bit bonker brains to me.
I know. I mean, I can see spending that money on cats, but dogs?
Aww.
Well, the French chef, who is a dog lover, of course, admits it's more for the owners than perhaps the dogs.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, the British have an expression for something that's a total mess. They say it's a dog's dinner. Well, this restaurant gives that expression a whole new meaning.
You said it.
No, they said it.
And it's time to wrap up the podcast with
The top 5 facts heard today.
Fab fact number 1. Scientists from the University of the West of England have found fungi might be talking to each other. What are scientists who study fungi like mushrooms called? Mycologists. Fab fact number 2. The scientists noticed that the fungi light up with sparks of electricity in similar patterns to each other, very similar to how humans transmit information in our nerve cells. True or false? Very true. Fab fact number 3. Geothermal energy consultants at a music venue in Glasgow, Scotland, are using the heat created from dancers to help power the music venue. What is geothermal energy? Heat derived within the subsurface of the earth. Fab fact number 4. Two of tennis's finest athletes are hanging up their tennis shoes and retiring from the game that dates back to the French game called Game of the Palm. From when? The 12th and 13th century. Fab fact number 5. A cafe is catering exclusively to dogs in what city that by some metrics has a higher rate of puppies than children? San Francisco. And don't forget, if you want to test yourself later on, then go to the Lucky Dip page of our website, newsypooloozy.com. That's pooloozy like a swimming pool. Pooloozi. And take this quiz online in your own time.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of Newsy Paloozy. So what did you think of this episode? If you liked it, then why don't you tell a friend about us?
And while you're at it, if you're feeling reflective and you have some time, why not fill out the Kids Listen survey, where you can tell the network that creates the best podcasting content for kids what you think about children's podcasts.
The good, the bad, and, all right, if you must, the ugly.
You will be helping the whole community make better content for you. Just click on the link in our transcript and show notes. It'll only take you a few minutes, I promise.
Trust me, she keeps her promises. Alrighty then, see you next week in the happy, splashy, giant Newsy Paloozy.